Speaking of AI, today we're talking about a boundary-pushing, controversial development, the debut of Tilly Norwood, an AI-generated actress created by Zyoka Particle 6, and what this means for entertainment, creativity, and human talent. Tell us, John, what is Tilly Norwood?
So Hollywood's pissed. And they're in an uproar over Tilly Norwood, which is an AI-generated actress, which it's created by some Dutch producer. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. Eline van der Velden. I tried it before, but so Tilly herself looks like a real 22-year-old woman with wavy brown hair and has been posting on Instagram since February of 2025 and reportedly being courted by real talent agents for representation. So think of it as someone creating a completely fake person using AI, giving her a personality and career aspirations, then trying to get her actual acting jobs that would normally go to real people. So the thing is it's not this whole controversy. It's not just about one AI character, because it represents a fundamental threat to human creativity and livelihood, essentially. So Tilly was created using AI trained on thousands of real actors' performances without their consent or compensation. And so major Hollywood stars like Emily Blunt, Whoopi Goldberg, Sophie Turner have condemned the project, with Ralph Ineson delivering the most succinct response, F off. But in a broader context, this is erupting just 2 years after the 2023 Hollywood strikes, where AI protections were a central demand from SAG-AFTRA. So they've issued a scathing statement calling Tilly not an actor, but rather a character generated by a computer program that was trained on the work of countless professional performers without permission or compensation. So I know in another episode we touched on Sora generating copyrighted characters and things like this, and now we've got this AI actor, or quote unquote actor. What do you think about this? Is this the way that things are going now, or is this going to get nipped in the bud?
This is the way things are going. I think that the world is disillusioned by actors and the whole Hollywood process. And so Hollywood can kick and scream and say whatever they want, but the cat's out of the bag with the new tools that are available and the consistent generating. I was looking for the video and I couldn't find it while we were chatting, so I could bring up her reel of the Tilly Norwood. Basically, it's a clip reel that some actor or actress would send a media when they're applying for a job, of the actress in various roles, a few seconds being in, a medieval setting, and then being here, and then being, and it looks really interesting. So it was showing you how AI could create consistent characters across genres, settings, and all that kind of stuff. And we're really seeing a push forward. Now, AI actors and actresses aren't going to make political statements that sink your movie. AI actors and actresses aren't going to go out and do something while they're drunk or on drugs or sexual harass people and get in legal trouble. AI actors and actresses aren't going to walk out on their contract and demand double and do so. There is a benefit, or at least a perceived thing, saying, look at what Hollywood's been doing. They're taking sides in every war and every politic thing. They're attacking their fans, saying, if you don't go see my movie, you're this or you're that, rather than embracing the customers to try and get them to come. I think there is an appetite for less of the attitude of actors and actresses, like they deserve our money, and that if we don't go and pay the theaters to watch and all that stuff, that somehow there's something wrong with us. So I think the world needs to change. And so this might just be the wake-up call that they need, saying, you're replaceable, maybe not right now. And will the great actors and actresses the great ones ever be? No, but I bet you the mediocre ones would be.
Yeah. Well, here's the argument, right? It's that acting isn't just about physical appearance or line delivery. It's about bringing lived experience, emotional depth, and creative interpretation to roles, where Tilly can only recombine existing patterns from training data. She cannot create genuinely new artistic interpretations. So I think there is an importance that people know that there's a real human vulnerability and creativity behind performances.
So I would disagree with what you're saying.
Okay, that's fair.
And I would disagree on a number of things. Because it's AI, it can learn. So you don't just say, okay, I created this actress. There she is. No one touched her. She never learns. She never changes. She's got an emotional scene. I, as an acting coach or as a programmer or whatever, can hook up the video camera and show her how to cry and show her how to do this and show her how to act and show a bunch of different things so people can learn based on the part and other stuff. So I agree. It's not something that they would genuinely be able to go from a realistic past experience like we do, flashing back to when I was young and my mother refused me that candy. Now I always want it, whatever situation. But they can have this be trained and they can do these things and get to another level. Yeah, we're not there yet, but we're leaps and bounds where we were a year ago and, a year before that. And what it costs pennies to create some of this stuff now versus what it used to be. And that's why I think that we go to say, did you ever watch any of the Katie Sackhoff videos where she was talking about filming The Mandalorian?
No, I didn't.
It nearly broke her because she was at a green screen acting with nothing and no one, trying to emote to this and that and whatever. And she really had no sense what was happening, who was there, who was playing opposite to her. And so we're moving to a world where they don't know how to emote because they're not put in a situation with fellow actors to spring off each other. You watch a lot of the Star Wars and whatever, and you can really tell they're in a green screen. And you can really
Actually, all of these new Star Wars shows, they all use these live screens, and it's not green screens anymore. It's the actual scenes are behind them. And The Mandalorian was the first one with Jon Favreau to implement that. So it's the actual scenes behind them. It's not green screen anymore.
I go back to shows like The Acolyte and say, okay, there's so many errors in that show that are not related to the script or whatnot. For example, this is just an example. They were tracking a spaceship. They're in a fight, and the person in the gunnery chair, whatever, says, "I lost them," and yet you see the ship right there in the center of the thing on the digital thing in the background. Like that is superimposed by a graphics person after that, screws over the whole scene. That happens so many times where what actually is happening in the background didn't really match what the character was emoting, and they just had no choice because they didn't know. Like, what do you mean you lost them? And they're right there on the screen. We can all see them. They're right there. And the visual effects guy didn't really sync with it. Oh, you just got to have a ship going across the, and people don't. That's what I'm talking about. You can tell that they're green screen, and they don't. You when they're not emoting and they're not, it's usually because they're not playing off another actor a lot of times, because you're like, wow, that's flat. Like this major thing just happened, and you're like, yeah, that sucked. Let's go. Like, what? Because you're not. So it's happening already.
Yeah.
But I agree that they are starting to bring it back to special effects, because practical effects, because they're getting burned. We saw the practical effects of something like Godzilla -1 cost $13 million to make, and it went gangbusters, and the practical effects were great. And things like, do you know that in the Brave New World, or the new Captain America, his sunglasses are CGI'd. He won't even wear practical sunglasses anymore. Like, this is so they have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars CGIing sunglasses on his face as he walks around.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of insane. Rather than, like, we've gone to a level of we need to bring it back, and they are bringing it back. But the problem with Hollywood is they're screwed because everyone in Hollywood knows the Hollywood system. So everyone in Hollywood screws everyone else over. And I'll give you a short example, and then we'll move on because we're running out of time. You're set to shoot a set on this location. Everything's paid for. You're done, and you show up, and let's say it's a bar, and the bar owner says, "Yeah, we're going to double the cost." And they're like, "What?" "Well, yeah, you're going to have to pay us another 50 grand for this." And they're like, everyone's here, you're on standby, it's thousands and thousands of dollars per minute. You have no choice but to pay, and everybody in the industry knows those things, so everybody's messing over each other and it becomes more and more expensive. And so that's why they need disruption and stuff. Whether this is the right way, I don't like the fact that actors potentially be out of work and whatnot. I do like the fact that a high school kid can create movies on his laptop and potentially be the next Steven Spielberg. There are a lot of gray areas in this, but I like where the technology is going. And if we can apply it correctly, we can get better, higher quality results across the board, more personalized content, more this, more that, and still keep Hollywood and those alive. But it has to strike a right balance of quality content for the end users. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So let us know what you think. Is this the death knell for Hollywood? You've already moved on, or you're anti-AI all the way? Let us know what you think. So what do you got going on, John?
Yeah, well, just helping companies secure government funding. So, it's a great time to reach out if you have any questions. How about you, Craig?
Well, there's a lot going on over at flowgrammer.ca. We're doing automation and AI and business processes. We do events, but we're really ramping our business up. And check out all the things we're doing over there. If you're interested in business automation, we've got community events where we're teaching everyone. We do an online, and we're about to launch our new resource center, flowgrammers.ca, which might be out when some of these are out. Other than that, check out for everything we do. Our monthly startup investor drinks, where you get to pitch to the crowd, business owners and investors, and have real conversations and make real connections. So for all those things, check out TorontoStarts.com. And for everything else, anything else, John, before we say goodbye?
No, just reach out to me on LinkedIn, John Irwin, if you want.
John Irwin on LinkedIn. Thanks, everyone. We'll talk to you soon.